I'm not going to be here before y'all long. I am tired, but there's certain things that I have to address. This is going to actually be one of those episodes that I said I wasn't going to do that much anymore because I feel like it's okay because I recognize who God is and I know my relationship with him, so I don't necessarily have to prove anything to anyone. And I'm also expressing, my own views, and it's not with no malice or anything, and that's no pun intended, because the Clipse album is dropping soon. Let God sort them out. I love that. What's up, blessed ones? You are now blaring the podcast. Brought to you by AB1 Studios. Thank you for your time. Listening. You want to know something else, blessed ones? So I was reading Romans 14 today, and it kind of just goes back again to us minding our business and realizing that we are all going through some things. We will have different views, different opinions, and we should all just be able to agree to disagree. Like if you're a vegan, you can be a vegan because you're a vegan for a reason. And as long as you recognize Christ and God, and we all have our journey. So a vegan shouldn't tell someone, even someone who is eating meat or who is overweight or something, shouldn't tell them, hey, don't do that. Because I do feel like we should have some grace, because it really is about peace and everybody finding their own way with God. And sometimes we get trapped in the matrix because we're so judgmental, because it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be living this way. And whether you agree with it or not, we should love one another. We should, yes, of course, hold people accountable and correct one another, but never condemn anyone or misjudge or mistreat anyone because of it. I'm not sitting here saying that the pastor shouldn't teach those who may be lost and lead them to the word and the wisdom of God. But the pastor shouldn't condemn or prevent someone from coming in. Because again, like when you are trapped in the matrix, we are dealing with something that we already feel is predetermined. Some people might be unfulfilled or lacking somewhere. And even for the Christians who know better, that's where we then have to again give others our love and not our behinds a kiss. So even with that said, I do want to say that, of course, we're in music. We're watching everything unfold. Trump is in office. Diddy's, free. Artists are beefing with other artists and everything else that's going on in the world. We need some type of release. So I believe that sometimes when we talk about other people in a negative way, that's the type of energy that we're going to get back. Because even with judgment, however we judge someone, that's how we're going to be judged. And it never said don't judge. We just cannot misjudge and misrepresent him. So I always just say, and this is why I love the Clipse, and this you can call it Virginia bias or whatever, but let God sort them out. Because we can express how we feel, but we also have to remember that when we express with hatred, it puts a different energy in the atmosphere. We can voice our opinions and have them and be personal, but we shouldn't look at it as negative, or we shouldn't present it as negative. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, it's like, yeah, Jim Jones. I feel like Jim Jones is trolling. I feel like he like he thinks because he might be more active than Nas currently that he's better than Nas. And this is the thing, like Nas is one of my favorite rappers. So we have Nas who's minding his business, and then Jim Jones is really just talking about Nas. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I was walking this today. I was walking for like over 2 hours. It was a nice walk, a long walk. And the crazy thing about me is that when I'm, it's like the longer that I'm up, the longer that I'm moving around, the less tired I get. Because it's like I'll be, I can probably, like, my feet can be hurting or whatever, but it's like the longer I wait to, sit down or take a break, the more energy I'll get. I don't know what you call that. Today was one of those days, and I do want to have a moment of silence, and I should have did this at the beginning of the episode, but I do want to have a moment of silence for those we lost this week. All right. But I'm not going to be here before you long. I just wanted to kind of put that out. And like I said again, y'all know by now that I'm someone who like I don't want to just be talking out my butt. You know, I really be wanting to have certain things to say, and I can have certain views and opinions on things, but it's like okay, if it's not really enough for me to get in the deep dive about it, because for me the thing is like if I'd seen something last week and I might have had my feelings about it for that week, and then it's like if I come here, I probably wouldn't address it. Like I probably wouldn't even talk about it then, because like I said, even with the Nas and Jim Jones, or even just the Jim Jones, he's kind of just talking to himself. But it's like this been going on for weeks now, so I can't even like say much more about it, you know. And even like the other stuff, like with Diddy and you know this crap with Tyler Perry, you know, like I said, the Clipse is dropping. You know, I'm very excited about this album. You know, like one thing I will say is I always knew that they would, you know, drop something else together. I actually met Malice back in I want to say it was I want to say it was in 2000 and was it 2016? I want to say it was 2016, but when I was working for Enterprise, he actually came to my job because my manager was his son's godparent, and I was looking at the guy. I was like that, and then I saw his name and said Glenn Thornton. I was like, that is him. And I'm gonna be honest, and I think I might have told this story before. Like I was nervous, and like I said, I was in my late 20s. I was 29 too, and it was like I was nervous, but I went in the pros and I was like, hey man, Cal, you got a minute? I don't want to bother you or nothing. He was like, and he said it like, hey, you're not bothering me. I said, yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you, man. Like, you know, me and my brother, we listen to y'all and not even listen to the podcast that him and Ice was doing. Him and Iceman was doing. Please forgive me, I forgot the name of it, but you know, it was like just a humble guy, man. And we didn't talk long, but it was just like I like to show my appreciation. Like if I'm familiar with you, if I know you, if I'm a fan of you, I mean, I'll come up to you and just say thank you. Sometimes I won't even know what else to say. Same thing like when I met D1. Like I met D1 one time. I mean, I seen him at the first time I seen D1 live was like at this event Domination. Shout out to C Goss and you know Quo. You know they put together a great show last Friday, and you know there was a couple guys like you know I met Kent, you know Canton Jones, Adia Sings, like um Doe, man, 1K Few, man. I chopped it up with Aaron Cole and Bizzle for a little second, and you know, and then it was just like other guys, like even in the Christian hip hop space. It's just it's like it just be for me. I'm even for the artists that I'm not familiar with. Like I like if I enjoy it, man, I'm gonna come up to you. I'm gonna like, hey, look, because we have to be a little bit more, you know, more expressive and giving people their flowers because we we're so focused on the internet sometimes and being negative and saying the things that we don't like and stuff, and we don't give enough credit to the things that we do like and do enjoy. You know, the good works and stuff that people do. And I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying? Because even like if I had an opportunity, you know, like I said, if I have an opportunity to, you know, meet a celebrity, someone like who's been putting working for a long time, you know, like I want to make sure, like if I'm there, if I see you, I'm going to say thank you. I appreciate you. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm not gonna be able to. Sometimes I'm not gonna be able to. Oh man, hold on, I got a message. Um, sometimes we we get so consumed with so much negativity that we don't appreciate each other. And that's the thing. Sometimes, even if it's something that you don't like, if we get so much criticism, we think everybody's hating. And then when we do show appreciation, we might think somebody, you know, deriding or giving too much praise. But I'll say this, you know, because like for me as a Christian man, I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand 10 toes down. I'm gonna die on that hill, and I'm just gonna speak for myself. I can't really like, you know, I'm I'm encouraging everybody to be more be more loving and more consistent instead of, you know, not like give people their flowers, but we have to change our tension. But again, that I'll let God sort them out. Let God sort them out. And you know, it's funny, it's fun, it's cool, it's entertaining, but and even though that's something that I'm into, I don't want to misrepresent God, misrepresent Christ, because again, we all having fun. We can have a good time and stuff, but there are certain energies that we might present to people, and they would like, look, we could probably be the only God that people see. That's not my problem, but it's like if I can show you better, if I can show you positive, if I can show you good energy, good vibes, that's what I'm gonna do. Like you wanna still get those jokes, but when it's all said and done, it's gonna be positive. It's gonna be better. And for real, for real. See, this is the thing. Like I do want to say this though. I want to say this. Nobody can tell me that God don't love me. Nobody can tell me that God don't love you, because, like I say again, he gave his only begotten Son, so for whoever believe in them shall not perish but have everlasting life. And this is what I hate too. People call me and then I'm doing things and this junk messes me up. But it is what it is. But that's my whole thing. That's my whole message. That's my whole delivery. And you know, like I've always say, you know, like stay safe, be positive, productive, prosperous, stay stay safe, stay prosperous, productive, and positive. Like, you know what it is. This is Blair, your Care Bear.